All right, let's go out to the garden and we'll talk about hardening your plants off. And then we'll look at some baby bunnies. All right, these are the plants I'm hardening off right now. As you can see, I've got tomatoes, and that is squash behind them, spaghetti squash. And then I got 2 containers of green beans. Now, this is what I'm doing. When you're hardening off, you're letting them get used to the outside. These have been in the greenhouse, and in the greenhouse they've been protected. So we're letting them get used to being outside. I've put them out several times this week in the evening after I get up. And what happens is then I leave them out. They sit out overnight, and they get an hour or so of sunlight in the evening, and then they get another hour or 2 in the morning before I get home and do my chores, and then that's when I put them back away. So that'll give you an idea what I'm doing. I can see little signs over here of things getting a little limpish looking, so it's time to put them back in the greenhouse and let them recover. And I'll put them back out this afternoon some. Now, most of them look just fine. They don't look like they're suffering a bit. When I put them out this afternoon or before, I'll give them a good water, make sure they've plenty of moisture, and that's what you do. And you're letting them get used to the UV outside and being blown by the breeze and all this kind of thing. I know last year I didn't do that. I didn't do any hardening off, and yeah, it kind of hurt me a little bit. So this year, trying to be a little more proactive and get this done. So that's what there is to know about that. I'm happy to see that they predominantly look like they're just taking it in stride. So hopefully tomorrow I can go ahead and plant them out, because as you can see, I've got a whole lot of beds full of nothing. I was going to say, while I'm on the subject, this bed right here is where the green beans will be, and I'm going to put them right kind of in the middle. There'll be marigolds at each end, of course. I'm going to put them pretty much in the middle, and then I'll put a squash at each end. Now the squash vine. So what'll happen is when you get towards the middle of the summer and the green beans are kind of piddling out, the squash will have the whole bed to vine and produce hopefully spaghetti squash for me, as long as that darn groundhog doesn't eat them. So that's what we're doing, and I'm hoping, got my fingers crossed. Potatoes again, and I see now that the last ones are poking out, so we were completely successful with those. As always, asparagus is just, gosh, it's just monstrous. It's doing great, and yes, all 10 of those came up. So there's not much more going on out here. This is my only disappointment so far. I put seeded lettuce in here, and anything come up, so I'm gonna have to get the seeds out again and give them a dose. I was planning on doing single heads and eating out of one bucket until it was gone, and then replanting and starting to eat out of the other bucket. But I guess this is how it worked. I might just as well spread the seeds a little thicker, water them in, and go for a cut and come again system. But that's okay. You kind of do what you can do as you do it. There's Sugar Snaps again, just doing great. And the last bed where my rhubarb's down at the end. So that's what's got. Obviously need to do a little tree pruning here. So that's what I'm doing this week. It's nothing exciting, but I wanted to talk a little bit about the hardening off. So so that you got an idea, you know. And it looks like the one bean plant here closest to this corner that looks a little sad, looks like it might be a little dry too, so it may not have anything to do with being outside. Well, all right, let's go look at the baby bunnies. All right, here's Ruth and her 4 little bunnies. They're all doing good. They're 3 weeks old, 4 weeks old now. So they'll get 2 more weeks in the cage with Ruth, and then they'll go to the grow-out pens. But they're doing great. They're just some big, white, fluffy, pink-eyed bunnies, you know. And I thought it'd be fun to end the video with looking at babies. You know, because they are pretty cute. So, I want you to have a quality day today. I want you to have a good time. Get out and enjoy your garden or whatever it is you're doing. So, until next time, you have a good one. Bye.